What's up, guys? Back with another video. This one actually was suggested to me by one of our, I'm guessing, subscribers. I mean, I don't remember seeing the subscriber notification thing, but and which is weird because it sometimes tells me I have when a new subscriber subscribes, and sometimes it tells me it doesn't tell me anything. So yeah. But yeah, this guy Hyper G. I'm pretty sure he's subscribed because I've seen him on in the comment section in some of my other videos. He says, "Let's talk about that new leak from the Israeli security guy." So I've obviously replied down here, and I've said that I've looked into it, and yes, I'll be making a video on it, which is this video. So. Before we get to this this article right here, which that's a badass badass photo right there. I think I'll probably maybe even see if I can use that as a thumbnail. I'll look into that. But yeah, that's a sick angle. Whoever photographed this, Mandel Ngan NGAN/AFP via Getty Images. So whoever these people are, like, they've done a fantastic job on this camera work right here. That was sick. Like, I mean, just look at the detail. Not only detail, but like the angle and everything. Like, it's just like, yeah, perfect clicking of the camera right there to get that actual photo. Which props to these guys. So anyway, before I get into that, just wanted to show you guys real quick, just so that I mean, obviously, what I'm about to read to you in the article, a lot of you, well, I mean, those of us who are UFO researchers, we aren't really that surprised, but I mean, to the regular sort of person who doesn't know anything about aliens or UFOs, or it hasn't really looked into the subject. To someone like that, this will seem a little out there, but I mean, to those of us in in the UFO community, it's not really that out there. It's just like, well, I mean, that's to be expected, really. I've personally known about it for, well, I don't want to do any spoilers here, but with what he's about to mention, I first heard of this particular group, I reckon 11, 12 years ago was when I first heard about them, and I've been kind of looking into it ever since. And yeah, this is very new. It was leaked like 3 or 4 days ago or something like that. Like, it's pretty new. And initially I wanted to like do a recap on on the older stuff that I knew on the subject first before I got into the new stuff. But I mean, since this came out, I'm like, okay, well, and also thanks to Hyper G for putting me under this, because I wasn't really researching new UFO stuff because I was working on getting the older videos out, or the older not material, but like the older information out to the public, in that sort of order. I wanted to get that done first and then start working on new stuff, but this is too hard to ignore. I mean, I'm not ignoring it, but it's just like, it's one of those things where I just kind of have to report on it, I guess. I mean, if you can call me a reporter, UFO reporter, or something like that. But anyway, I wanted to play this little video for you first, and then I'll get into the article. So first, here's the video.
Before you leave office, will you let us know if there's aliens? Because this is the only thing I really want to know. I want to know what's going on. Would you ever open up Roswell and let us know what's really going on there?
So many people ask me that question.
I know, it sounds almost ridiculous, but it's actually the real question I want to know.
It sounds like a cute question, but it's actually, there are millions and millions of people that want to go there, that want to see it. I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
So you're saying you may declassify?
No.
You'll take it?
Well, I'll have to think about that one. Right?
All right. All right.
there you go. The way he said that too, the way he was just kind of, when he's just like, why? You can tell that he really wants to talk about it, but he can't, because obviously there's, big cover up and stuff, and actually I did a little bit of digging on the cover up, and it's funny because the when in 1947, when that particular craft crashed in Roswell, New Mexico, the current president for that, like at the time, was Harry S. Truman, and he also happened to be a Democrat, which is, it's kind of odd that all the Democrats really want to get Trump out of power right now. It's like, why? And with this new stuff coming up from this Israeli guy, it's kind of making sense to me. I mean, it's like something clicks. Like it all just kind of falls into place. It's, oh, okay, that makes sense now. So let me just close this real quick. So now we're going over to the article which a mate of mine linked me on the subject. I mean, I've read a whole bunch of others, but this one was like the most well done. Plus, it's got that pretty awesome photo right there. So, former head of Israel's space division says aliens are real. Trump was on the verge of confirming. Like, oh, could you imagine when that happens? It's just gonna be amazing. So, I mean, if you don't want to hear me read the whole article, feel free to like skip ahead. But retired Israeli general and current professor Haim Eshed, I'm probably butchering these names, but yeah, I don't speak Israeli. Told a newspaper in Israel that not only are aliens real, but that the U.S. and Israeli governments have been working with them, and President Donald Trump was recently on the verge of confirming their existence. That's massive. Like, if he actually did that, or there's still a chance that he might, in his second term, if he wins all these lawsuits, well, and it goes to the Supreme Court, and it's turned out that there was mass voter fraud, like that, and then he confirms the existence of aliens. That would be huge. So, Eshed, I'm not really sure how to say that name, who retired in 2011 as the head of the Defense Ministry's space division. Okay, so he's not only a general, but he's also like head of the Israeli Defense Ministry's space division. That's pretty high ranked, like you don't get much higher ranked than that, apart from maybe president. Served as the head of Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years, and is a 3-time recipient of the Israel Security Award. 3-time, damn. He must have done a pretty damn good job. The Jerusalem Post reported, he explained that Israel and the US have both been dealing with aliens for years. That's I mean, I already kind of knew that the US had been dealing with them, but I didn't realize that Israel was involved. So, Eshed reportedly told Yediot Aharonot, I don't know how to say that. That's a tricky word. The UFOs have asked not to publish that they are here. Humanity, by UFOs, they means aliens, obviously, because aliens are the occupants of the craft, and they're the ones talking. Humanity is not ready yet. Trump was on the verge of revealing. But the aliens in the Galactic Federation, I've definitely heard of that before, are saying, wait, let people calm down first, probably because of the election and that sort of stuff, and all the shit going on with that. They don't want to start mass hysteria. They want to first make us sane and understanding. I can think of a few groups of people that are, let's just say unhinged. I mean, you guys know who I'm talking about there. They have been waiting for humanity to evolve and reach a stage where we will generally understand what space and spaceships are. There's an agreement between the US government and the aliens. They signed a contract with us to do experiments here. They too are researching and trying to understand the whole fabric of the universe, and they want us as helpers. There's an underground base in the depths of Mars. I mean, us, mic drop there, it's like us UFO researchers, we already knew that. I mean, that's common knowledge at this point. Where their representatives are, and also our American astronauts. If I had come up with what I'm saying today 5 years ago, I would have been hospitalized. Wherever I've gone with this in academia, they've said the man has lost his mind. Today, they're already talking differently. I have nothing to lose. I've received my degrees and awards. I am respected in the universities abroad, where the trend is also changing. And that's all part of evolution, really. I mean, certain things are slowing it down, like, media brainwashing and all that sort of stuff. But so the 87-year-old. So this is what the article talks about. About like the actual reporter talking about it. So the 87-year-old's claims are far-fetched, and there has been little to no evidence released by officials to back up his claims. I mean, of course there hasn't. Oh, like the cover-up is still happening today, guys. Like, even in 20, people, certain people like, oh yeah, I had, how can they cover it all up and stuff, and that's what they're doing. No, they say it's far-fetched, or it's, he's a nut job or whatever. It's like, what? So we're nut jobs, but anyone who believes in a magical bearded man in the sky that is all powerful isn't. Like what what do they think gives them the right to call us nut jobs? Especially when a lot of us have had our own personal experiences, whether it be a UFO sighting or anything along those lines. And those things are hard to prove, especially when they happen, at that moment. We're not ready with like a team of investigators. Like, how are we supposed to know that we're about to see a UFO? And it's like, the mainstream media just annoys me. Evidence released by officials to back up his claims. Eshed's claims come a few months after the U.S. Department of Defense released a statement announcing the establishment of an unidentified aerial phenomena UAP task force, UAPTF. So I think that I'm pretty sure that came out around about the same time as that other video released about the military cameras catching, UFOs, and they called for like an investigation on it, and that was around about that time. I mean, obviously the NASA tether incident was a lot earlier than that, but and they've done other studies and stuff before that, but they're starting to do a new one because of that military video. So on August 4th, 2020, Deputy Secretary of Defense David L. Norquist approved the establishment of an unidentified aerial phenomena UAP task force, UAPTF. The Department of the Navy, under the cognizance of the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, will lead the UAPTF. There's a lot of like abbreviations and shit in this article. The Department of Defense established the UAPTF to improve its understanding of and gain insight into the nature and origins of UAPs, and more or less UFOs. The mission of the task force is to detect, analyze, and catalog UAPs that could potentially pose a threat to U.S. national security. As DoD has stated previously, the safety of our personnel and the security of our operations are of paramount concern. The Department of Defense and the military departments take any incursions by unauthorized aircraft into our training ranges or designated airspace very seriously and examine each report. This includes examinations of incursions that are initially reported as UAP when the observer cannot immediately identify what he or she is observing. Bullshit. They don't fucking do that. I mean, maybe in there only the, like, you know, the fucking, what do you call it? In like, you know, military airspace or whatever. If they're in regular airspace, they're like, oh, you're fucking nuts, you know. So, during an October interview on Fox News, host Maria Bartiromo asked Trump about the task force and whether UFOs are real. Well, I'm going to have to check on that, Trump replied. I mean, I've heard that. I heard that 2 days ago, so I'll check on that. I'll take a good, strong look at that. I will tell you this, Trump continued. We now have created a military the likes of which we've never had before in terms of equipment, the equipment that we have, the weapons that we have, and hopefully, hope to God, we never have to use them. Senator Marco Rubio, RFL, who is the acting chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, told CBS Miami back in July that he was concerned about the national security of unidentified aircraft flying over our military bases. We have things flying over our military bases and places where we're conducting our military exercises and we don't know what it is and it isn't ours, Rubio said. So that's a legitimate question to ask. I would say that frankly that if it is something outside this planet, that might actually be better than the fact that we've seen some technological leap on behalf of the Chinese or the Russians, so or some other adversary that allows them to conduct this sort of activity. But the bottom line is, if there are things flying over your military bases and you don't know what they are because they're not yours and they exhibit potential technologies that you don't have at your own disposal, that to me is a national security risk and one that we should be looking into, Rubio continued. Completely screwed up that word. E.g. continued, but yeah, so there you go. So that's this article. That's some pretty big stuff, you know, and is coming from like a high-ranked, you know, military kind of guy. Not only military, but he's also involved in the space program and stuff of Israel. I mean, he's not just some random Joe Blow, you know. So yeah, I mean, I'll you know, post updates on this if I find anything else about it. But yeah, enjoyed the video before it gets taken down. I have a feeling they'll probably take this one down, that's for sure. Anyway, catch you guys in the next video.